Starts off with three kids trying to build a raft in order to venture into the other worlds. But then it turns into a space opera that involves themes that which resonate on what it means to be truly human, teaching us how to behave in certain situations that could occur in real life, such as keeping a strong heart in trying situations, the value of friendship, being able to choose what's right or wrong, what to do when you're being deceived, and the power of being an overall good person. What is Kingdom Hearts? Kingdom Hearts acts as a DX Machina of the verse, granting wishes, and it also acts as the birthplace of all worlds. It has the power to do anything. What is a Keyblade? It's basically the ultimate weapon that grants you a whole list of amazing powers, like elemental magic, time manipulation, gravity manipulation, summoning, warping, cutting through someone's true essence, and anything else you can think of, dimensional and reality stuff. Really, the list goes on. What is the heart's true nature? Within Kingdom Hearts, we learn that the heart's true nature is light, meaning that even though there is evil in the world and in people's hearts, there's always a light that never goes out. You just have to believe. How is the gameplay within Kingdom Hearts? The gameplay looks simple and childish, but is actually hard and challenging, with tough boss battle and hard puzzle layouts. What do we learn about each world? Dive to the heart, not a world but inside Sora's heart. We learn that the Princes of the Heart are in danger, along with what a sword, shield, and staff truly represent. As we choose between them on Destiny Island, we learn that Sora, Riku, and Kairi do have parents. They just don't listen to them. And finally, we learned that on the island, there's a legendary fruit that once shared, we're connected to forever. In Traverse Town, we learned that you should always have a safe haven, and that there was a scientist who wrote reports on the Heartless, and that King Mickey probably went to go find them for help. We also learned that Donald and Goofy spaceship works on happy faces. In Wonderland, we learned that through the Queen of Hearts, that being ruthless and making up your own facts isn't a good thing. You have to be objective, as your intuition can be wrong. And we also learned through Sora that sometimes it's okay to break the rules if it's for a good cause. In Olympus Coliseum, that's Hercules' world, we learned that sometimes people will only judge you based on your appearance, regardless of your ability and capability. As shown when Phil was trying to brush off Sora from enlisting in the tournament, and that it is bad to make deals with bad people because they'll try to trick you. That's shown with Hades. I can never fulfill their agreements because they're the ones in control, and if you're going to trust someone, let that someone be a person who always does what they say they're going to do. In Deep Jungle, that's Tarzan's world. We learned that sometimes you'll have disagreements with your friends and want to sever all ties with them, but that isn't healthy, as shown through Tarzan, as he explains that Clayton lost his friends, so he lost his heart. Also, whoever you associate with can in turn affect how others perceive you, as shown when the gorillas wanted nothing to do with the humans due to Tarzan and Jane being associated with Clayton. Even if they meant no harm, they had to show that they wasn't in league with Clayton for their trust to be rekindled. In Agrabah, we learned that evil can never fully control evil. We also learned that sometimes social class can be a factor in dividing love, as shown that Aladdin wants to woo Jasmine, but he can't even get to her because he's a poor man, and the guards in the palace will clearly arrest him if he even tried to get close to her. We also learned that sometimes instead of making someone do something for you, you should just ask, and they might just do it anyway, as shown when Aladdin used his final wish to free Genie, who in turn offers his help to Sora whenever he needs it. In Mastroso, that's beside the wheel from the movie Pinocchio, we learned that children are really susceptible to tricks and bad influences, and that sometimes people will lie and fight against a threat that they themselves are causing just to look good, but actually aren't, as shown when Riku lured Pinocchio out of the safety of Traverse Town because he sensed that Sora was in the belly of Mastroso. He tricked Sora as well, because he is secretly controlling the Heartless, although Sora hasn't fully figured this out yet. And when confronted by Geppetto, Riku belittles Pinocchio. In hindsight, this is a very interesting aspect, as here we see that a lonely old man has deluded himself into believing that the puppet who he made is his son, and he loves him, showing that the imagination and the power of belief is a powerful thing. We also see that there are some people who will lie with good intention, but a lie is a lie, and it only grows. We also see that kindness of heart can also bring those who are lost in darkness back again, as shown when Jiminy felt concerned for Pinocchio. In Halloween Town, we learn that you can just make friends by wearing an interesting outfit. We also see the importance of having that one person who supports you, when shown how Sally comforts Jack. In Atlantica, we see that it's very hard to convince old people of certain new age ideologies, and that they can be very strict, resorting to lying and being very hollow of heart. We also learn that sometimes just banishing a wrongdoer isn't good enough, as they will fly and eventually come back in vengeance. But with persistence and show of good, a young person can change an older person's view, unless that person truly is bad. which is shown through both Ursula and King Triton, who later changes his opinion on Sora. In Neverland, we learned that it's always good to make new friends, and to be friendly to people who aren't always friendly to you, as they can be helpful, and just as good at you at certain things. As if Sora, Donald, and Goofy almost refused Peter Pan's help, they wouldn't have been able to escape Captain Hook's ship, being able to fly and all. We also see that, although shown rarely, there is honor among villains, as shown when finally confronted by Sora. Riku admits to being the one controlling the Heartless alongside Maleficent. We also learned that one can be very fearful of their enemy, to the point of paranoia, as shown how Hook is afraid of the croc that took his hand, but also how once a villain thinks that they've won, they'll reveal all of their hidden schemes, as shown when Hook corners Sora as Riku retreats to Hollow Bastion, after showing Sora that he has acquired Kairi's body, thus triggering the resolve within Sora to make it there safer, as he just wants to tell her all about his heroic adventures. As we see that Sora keeps envisioning Kairi, which means that if you care about someone a lot and you can't be with them, your mind will sometimes envision them with you to play with, and there will fuel his spirit. Much to his delight, Peter Pan says that if she doesn't believe him, he could always bring her here to Neverland, showing that good people who know the truth of things will always coherently vouch for you, no matter what. We also see that sometimes villains lust after a power that the hero might have, shown when Hook tries to covet the Keyblade, while Leon tries to do that too in Traverse Town. And lastly, when Peter begins to depart back to Neverland due to not wanting to grow up, he tells Wendy that they can always be together anytime, if she just remembers him. In one of the most anticipated worlds, Hollow Bastion, we learn that it's okay to take inspiration from others, as Sora does this when he sees how the Beast resolved to rescue Belle. But we also see that even if your cause is noble and true, there will be those who want to stop you, out of hate or jealousy. And when Riku takes the Keyblade and all his power away from Sora, and he is abandoned by Donald and Goofy, which leads to Riku getting a new form and Maleficent being defeated. And the most interesting thing with Sora is, even as a normal boy, he still doesn't give up. And he ventures deep within the castle, and doesn't back down even when he's about to be killed off by Riku. He states that, even if he is killed, as long as his friends don't forget him and his kindness, he'll never die. And though his body may be weak, his heart is strong. And this really resonates with Goofy, as he jumps in between a deadly blast, blocking it with his shield. He did this because he saw that Sora doesn't believe in the out of sight, out of mind philosophy, and shows inner bravery against the odds, showing that he really cherishes everyone, giving him inner strength. And that's what truly defeats Riku. We also see that begging an evildoer will do no good, as shown when Sora begs Ansem to stop possessing his fallen friend's body, showing that real friends know who you are best, and that doing evil things can turn you into an entire other person altogether. It should also be noted that Sora's sacrifice by using the Keyblade on himself to unlock all the Princesses of Heart in order to awaken Kairi is very noble, as a hero should always be ready to sacrifice himself. And when he is revived by her, that lets the audience know that true love can bring anyone who is living back from the darkness, as she places herself in danger to protect him, as he did her, because darkness makes you forget things. Your friends, who you are, but to pull a person back, you can't forget them. In the end of the world, we see that the devil is always in darkness, and this is shown to the viewer when Sora fights Trinidad. So be careful, people. This is a window. We also see that if you really want to defeat a person, never do it in their home setting, because you'll take an L, as shown here when Ansem fights Sora in Destiny Islands. Anyway, having multiple transformations is always cool, as change equals development. We also see through Ansem that research can corrupt, because Ansem was probably researching the Heartless for a way to bring them back from darkness, but then allied with them after being overwhelmed by his research. Another trope is seeing the truth objectively can in fact change someone's perception of a situation, as shown at the end of the game when Riku actually helps Sora close the final door of Kingdom Hearts. And lastly, even at the end of your journey, as shown when King Mickey, Riku, and Sora, who did so much saving the universe, but it didn't just mean they can just go back and live a normal life, no matter how much other people care for them, as shown when Kairi is placed back in Destiny Islands without Sora, with only a memento to remember him by in his drawings. Alright, now that we're done with the plot, let's go over a few things together. It's also interesting to note that you can fight alongside your favorite Disney characters via summoning in battle, which makes things very interesting. In Chain of Memories, there's this card system battle format that takes some getting used to, although I really enjoyed it too, having a very similar attribute to the summoning in Kingdom Hearts 1, while 358 Days is just a movie cutscene, so get your popcorn ready. To be honest, this is definitely a game that has a high replay value, and I definitely give this game an overall rating of a 9 out of 10.